Okay guys, here we are once again. This is Monday night 9-ball Scotch doubles, and we're joining this match right at the start. We're in the first rack. It's a match between Izom and Dizzle, who are paired up against, I think they're from France, yeah. One's called Kwak, the other one's called Petit Kwak. So I presume it's brother and little brother, or big sister and little sister, or dad and son, one of the two. And they're getting 3 racks in this race to 7. Remember, we're double elimination, it's handicapped. And Dizzle and izom are trying to run this rack. I'm just going to have to be careful here because this is a cutback and he needs to try and get somehow round behind this 8-ball. And the angle looks like he might collide with it. He's got to be careful here. He's played that well. That was a good shot. Dizzle just... Well, he's leaving his partner a choice. He's got the choice of playing it long into the top right or playing it tight into the middle. I would take the easier shot, which is the long one into the corner. Bigger margin of error doing it that way. And it goes in, so Dizzle and izom reduce the deficit. Get 1 rack on the board. While they're, excuse me, while they're breaking off in the second rack, Dizzle's breaking off. We'll have a quick look at the bracket, and we see that this is a second round match. These two teams got a bye, and you'll see that Mr. Bill and Larry are waiting in the second round, but they're waiting on the result of this first round match between Stefan and Koyol. Is that 1932 or something? And Romario and Z Carioca. Now, Stefan and Koyol are getting 4 racks, they're getting the maximum. And it's only a race to 7, so Romario and Z Carioca, although they've won the first rack, they've got their work cut out to get through that match. And then the bad news is, if they do get through that match, they're going to be playing Bill and Larry in the next round. But anyway, we are going to concentrate in this match. I think we've yet to see any of these two French guys shooting a ball yet. And they might have a chance now because izom's just left with a safety and he's left that short. Let's see what kind of calibre of player we have here with these two French chaps. I've never seen any of them shoot. Well, he's went for the bank the 2 but forgot about getting on the 3. So it looks like he's going to be banking the 3 as well. Well, decided against it. Just played the roll up. Double kiss to leave the 3 on the rail. Now who's going to be brave enough and try and hide the cue ball down behind these 3 balls here to force the game, because we're going to end up just tippy-tapping for 10 minutes. And izom's looking to see if he's got an angle that he can run off. I think he considered it, but he's probably going to chicken out. Well, he's somehow got second prize there. Managed to kick the 3 into the 9 and he's got a full snooker behind the 7. And they can kick this 3 ball by shooting down past the 8 ball. I don't know whether he can see an edge of it, can he? Yeah, you can just see an edge. And that looks well played. I think he's got the cover. Let's have a quick look from this side. Yeah, but no doubt, having seen Dizzle in the past, he'll have dug out the jump stick within a couple of seconds and he'll look at popping this 3-ball in. Of course, the danger here is the closeness to the rail, because he's going to have to jump and the cue ball's going to be bouncing about, and there's a strong chance he's going to bounce off the table. So he's got to play this as delicate as he can, and that's him into his extension. Got a 30-second shot clock with a 15-second extension, and of course that's what all the time he took to get that lined up. He then started hearing the beeps of the shot clock, and that put him under pressure, so he fluffed that one. And now Kwak has got ball in hand. Now you can just sort of do a sort of soft stun draw shot to get the cue ball up there and get it more level with the 8. This means he's going to have to let the cue ball run a bit, unless he draws it across to the left middle. But he's got the whole table to get room here to get onto this 8. Well, he did have an angle to hold it, so that's not bad. It's always difficult to judge looking from this sort of TV camera view. Unless you get right behind the ball, you can't see what angle he's got, but it doesn't matter, because that now means that Kwak and Kwak, as I'll call them, are now leading by 4 racks to 1. So the pressure's really now on izom and Dizzle. Now there is a chance to cut this one. Can he somehow avoid traffic to leave Dizzle a combo on this 2-9 here? Let's see. Well, that's as good as I think he could have played it, and I think Dizzle will be taking his time here as much as he can to get this lined up, because there's a good chance it'll go in. But he doesn't want to play it too soft and leave this 9 rattled over the jaw. Got to play it firm. Again, he's into his extension, and it's only 15 seconds, so he needs to hurry. He's going to start getting the beeps again. Well, in the end he played a nothing shot. All of that for that effort there. I sure thought he was going to play the combo, and he tried to play some cute safety shot, but got it far too heavy. And now he's gifted the French opponents a chance here just to roll the 4 in. Well, he's killed the cue ball there. He actually stunned it dead, more or less. He's got an awkward angle here now, and going to struggle to hold for this 4. Well, he's managed to do it. There's still a cut on, and now doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball again, because we all see the obvious. It's going to bounce back up the table. Now let's have a look at the 7 and 8. Well, they're dead set, but there is about 3-4 inches between the two of them, and it'd be asking a lot for them to get position on that 7 into the same pocket the 6 is going in. So let's see if they hold it for the combo. It's just a wee bit short, but I mean, he should get this. Very strong likelihood he's going to get this, but where's the 7 ball going to go? Well, it's held up and stopped dead. That's perfect. So Dizzle and izom know they've got a match in their hands here. And that all stemmed from a very poor safety shot again, so The mistakes are being made, but at the same time, it's up to the opponents to make most of them, and it looks like these two French guys are pretty capable. There's certainly no mugs. So they now jump into a 5 racks to 1 lead. And of course, always remember it's winner breaks. 6 ball goes into the bottom right. No real shot in the 1 ball. You could just actually double this or bank it past the 7 and just send a cue ball to the end rail. Well, he's tried the other way, tried to send a 1 ball down the table, and well, that's worked out. Got the kiss off the 2, and I think at best izom can see an outside edge of this 1. Let's have a look. Well, you can't even see that, so this has got Dizzle and izom puzzled here. And how's the luck with the kick? Well, not very lucky at all, because not only has he got the 1 right in the middle of the table, he's just nudged the 2 ball over the left middle. All the balls sitting there for the taking, and this is going to be a problem. Going to be nudging next to that 8 ball. I think it's just hampering his cue. Can he get a clean shot at it? Now he could just put a bit of bottomness and draw across behind the 9 there as we look over to the left hand side for that 4. Well, he went for the bank, he gets it, and it's not ideal because he's not got the position on the 4 as such. I mean, he can still pour it, but I think that time Kwak just rushed that shot, and this is giving Dizzle and izom a chance. It's not easy because this 4 ball's a tough one to start with, and Dizzle's got his work cut out of the cue ball here. He's managed to hold the cue ball, but really that's not ideal. Pressure's on izom, and questions whether he lets this cue ball run or he just plays this 5 dead weight to leave an open shot in the 7. And he's played the shot the right way. He's tried to kill the pace. He's done it just enough to leave a cut on here for Dizzle. That was well played. And that's the thing about situations like, oh, that's a really poor shot by Dizzle. Dizzle's feeling the pressure, and Dizzle's the one that's making the mistakes, and he's the stronger of the 4 players in this match, and that's a gift. And so Monsieur Kwak is at the table. Just needs to roll the 8 in, but well, and his partner Putty Kwak, just a simple roll on the 9. Oh, I thought that was going to stay up there, but anyway, it goes in. So, well, Dizzle and izom, they're going to have a second chance in the tournament, remember, because it's double elimination. But I would say there's about 8 out of 10 nails in her coffin. There's only another couple to go, and 3 of those nails have been committed by Mr. Dizzle, as he stated in his chat. So the two French chaps get a ball in the break, but no luck in the one ball, so again just a roll on to the one. And there's now, of course, no margin of error for Dizzle and his partner. They're up the proverbial creek without a paddle. And looking at the position of the balls, this one ball is really important, because whoever gets it should really be running this rack. I mean, everything's sitting there wide open, nothing blocked, all just waiting to be hitting into a hole. Who's going to make the mistake? Well, there's the mistake. Kwak 95, as I'll call him, that's the abbreviated version, has tried to thin the one ball and missed it. And Dizzle and izom at the table, has got ball in hand. And again, this is going to take something silly for them to throw this match away, because I would feel they're throwing the match away if they make a mistake here. They've got to run this rack. Oh dear. That is really, really bad. What are you doing, Dizzle? What are you doing? I mean, he's just trying to be too cute. Plenty of room to manoeuvre that cue ball there and still leave a shot in the 3. But anyway, this is, like I say, well, the only problem I see here is this 3's too straight, and this is going to be awkward to get a shot on this 4. Could shoot the 4 between the 8 and the 5, but it's not ideal. Even then, you've still got to judge the amount of draw that you get into the cue ball. These are very difficult to judge the pace of. Well, that just proves what I said. He's more or less stunned at and didn't get much draw into it at all, and it's stunned right behind the 8 ball. So this is a lifeline for Dizzle and izom. Kwak thinks he can jump at that 4. I don't think he can. I'll be surprised if he gets the hit without fouling the 8. Yeah, it was never on. So here we go again, ball in hand, Dizzle at the table, just needs to roll the 5 in. Now this is where izom needs to know the shots. He just needs to draw this back off this end rail and out to the right as we look at it, and he's chickened out. I mean, that was poor. That was poor. He did not go through with the shot, and it just shows you that the two of them don't have any confidence in each other, let alone themselves. That was very weak. But they're going to have to get their heads together and get the cue flowing, because they've showed no semblance of being able to win this tournament in this match, or even dig themselves out a hole. And that was a well taken shot though. Pressure was really on Dizzle to pull that one out, and he gets it. That's the first good shot he's really played, and that saved her neck. As long as izom can just cut this in, which he does. So somehow or other, Dizzle and izom are still breathing. There's barely a pulse, but they're still breathing. They still trail by 6 racks to 2. And they get a ball in the break. How's their luck in the 1 ball here? No luck at all. It's hooked behind the 5. And the 4 ball's the one that's gone in. Just be pushing out now. So the pass has been pushed and Dizzle's back at the table. He'll be looking to get this 1 ball as thin as he can. Just clip the edge of it and more or less leave it on that end rail. Maybe behind the 3. Well, he got it a wee bit fat. Let's have a look. Well, he's managed to get the cover, that's all that matters. So, and I don't think they'll be jumping over this because the distance between the 8 and the cue ball's too far. So just be looking to kick. There's an easy kick on here, and just needs to hope that keeps it safe. Is he going behind the 5? I thought it was just as easy off the side rail. Well, he's only caught the edge of the 1. However, he's oh dear, he's managed to fluke the 2. Well, that's the luck you need to win tournaments, and certainly that's going to be a sore one for Dizzle and izom to take watching that shot. But there's still a fair bit of work to be done in this rack because the 6 is adjacent to the 9 there. And he had to force that to get the cue ball back across. That was a good shot. And again, just a gentle cut on this 3, and the cue ball's going to run behind the 5, come back out with the 5 in the same pocket. This doesn't need to be forced or anything, just nice weight. But how's the angle? Well, that's the problem. The cue ball's dead in the side rail here, so he can't stop the cue ball. He's going to have to run round and out and hopefully leave the shot on for this 6. Well, he's digging down there trying to do something with it, and he's of course missed a 5. Every time you dig down, you're going to send if you move that cue tip, you're somehow going to impart some spin in the cue ball, minute as it might be, but that just sends the path offline towards the object ball, which in turn then sends the object ball offline. But izom's kicked at the 5. Now this time, if Mr. Putty Quack has a jump cue, we might see him jump this. I don't know whether he does. I can't remember whether he's actually used one in this match or whether it was his partner. But he doesn't seem to be interested in a jump shot, so he's going for a kick. And that could be a fail in there, because when you don't have that shot in your ammunition, especially 9 ball, then you're already sort of fighting a losing battle most of the time. And Dizzle this time manages to force the 5 in and try to somehow create an angle to split this 6 and 9. He's not really achieved it. There is a cut on, and this is really, really tough. In fact, even if he tried to play the cut, he's bound to, odds on it he'd go in off. So he's trying to somehow play a kick and maybe get a bit of luck. Oh, if that slows down, oh, too much pace. He went for a sort of 2-in-1 shot there, tried to kick it in, but if it missed, he was hoping it would finish in the end rail. somewhere next to the 7. You're going to have to pull out a good one here. And again, looking at the angle is, I don't think the in-off zone. I think the cut angle's too thin for the cue ball to go in off. It probably hit the left jaw of that pocket, and he's just overdone it. And he got his partner on the 8 ball somehow or other, but that's by the by. Dizzle's at the table now, and he needs to see if he can get izom a decent shot in the 8 ball and get another rack in the board. Well, again, he didn't have the confidence to try and get the cue ball up for that 8 ball. He just preferred to take the simpler shot. But it just tells me that he's certainly nervous. And of course his partner, playing a shot at that distance and having to stun the cue ball to kill it for the 9, has done what we discussed earlier. It's sent the 8 offline into the jaws, and this is, oh dear, Kwak's miscued. Well, they won't be getting that back. That's their own fault for making that mistake. Maybe getting too excited that they had an easy out there, and of course pushed the mouse forward, which in turn is going to play a stroke and fouled. So this is some way or other, the two French guys here are maybe going to string themselves up here. And Dizzle and izom should have been getting ready for their one lost side match, but nevertheless it's now 6 racks to 3 in favour of Putty, Kwak and Kwak. And the ball flies in the break, bottom right corner. 1 ball goes in the top right. What went in there? So the 1 ball's gone in, and the 6. And I think, has he got a shot in that too? Yep. Well, it's a bit tight, but it does go in. It goes in off the jaw, so he's got room to manoeuvre here if he just takes his time and looks at the cut. Just plays this a nice way, it'll go in. What's he trying here now? Well, he's trying the safety instead. But again, I don't think he's got the cover. I think you can see the potting angle in this. And the cue ball will be coming off the end rail, and as long as it misses a 5 ball, it'll be a shot in a 3. Well, cutting into a blind pocket makes it very difficult to judge. And you overcut it. That's the mistake that most people do, is they overcut the shot. And the problem here, of course, isn't the 2 ball. The problem's getting down for that 3, and he can get down to it. The weight looks good. He's running reasonably okay. It's gone a bit square though. And again, the pressure's now on izom. Let's have a look at this potting angle here. So he's going to collide with the 4, no doubt about that. So he needs a bit of luck to leave Dizzle on this 4 somehow or other, as long as he gets a 3. Well, how does that look? Cue ball's gone in close into the corner pocket, and Dizzle's got no real shot. And I think Dizzle again maybe feels pressured to have a go at this, and this could be good night Vienna, I think, if he really has to try and go for this, or if he feels he has to. I mean, the 7 ball's tight in the rail there, and he's tried to bank the 4, and he's got it. That was a good shot under pressure. but he shouldn't have been playing from there. But that's just the luck that you have to ride when you play that cut shot. You're always going to be moving the other object ball. But anyway, izom has got an awkward 5. Cue ball should be coming across to the left hand side for this 7 down the side rail. Got to play this dead weight though, and you want to overhit it. But he can't choke like he did earlier on. He needs to go through with the shot. And it's gone in. That was better played shot, better control. And now these shots, I would hate to have this shot at this time in the match. He knows what he's to do. He's got to draw off that 7 ball, off the side rail and out for this 8. And this could rattle. But it's gone in clean. How's the angle in the 8? The angle's fine, because he can just cut that 8 in and bounce off the side rail and back across the 9. This should be secure in this rack as long as he takes his time. And that's fine. And leaves Dizzle just a simple roll out on the 9. Well, I never thought we'd still be sitting here watching this match, but we are. Dizzle and izom get another rack on the board. They go to 4. And they also get a couple of balls in the break. And they've also got a shot in the 1 ball. So, no excuse again. Maybe play this with a bit of inside English or left hand side as he's looking to punch the cue ball down the right hand side of the table. And it's gone over to the right, but it's a bit weak. It should have been up the table by about another foot. Again, cue ball is going to be colliding with this 8 in the natural path of the cue ball. And he might try and use the 8 to somehow draw off it and get a shot in the 4. The 4's got blockers there, so it's asking a lot to get good position in this 4. Well, he's got that kick off the 8 ball and he's just run a fraction too far. But Dizzle, as long as he gets this thin with a bit of left English, you can cut that 4 to the side rail and the end rail and then get cover behind the 8 and 9 here. Well, he's played it very soft. I would have went for distance more than anything, but he's still got the cover. And this is an easy kick. And that 4 ball's just crept down the table. Once again, Dizzle and izom have got a chance. And the cue ball is going to have to run through this time. I don't know whether he can hold for the 5 from there, can he? No, he's run through round the corner. That's finished perfect. Let's see what it's like from this angle. Well, there is a slight angle there, so Dizzle can easily pot this 5 and just stop the cue ball there for the 7 into the right middle pocket as we look. Now what's the angle like? Well, he can draw, and he's got to be careful here, because if he gets too much on this and gets a bit beefy, he could draw into this middle pocket. He's just stunned it, and that's fine. Well, we still possibly have a match on here. And the way these guys played early on in the match, there's no way they should ever still be playing. This game should have been all over. izom, this isn't a gimme, it's a slightly awkward angle. Semi-blind pocket he's going into here. And I hate it when players spend a lot of time thinking about the shot, because that just tells me things are going to go wrong. Oh, he just went in. Well, we're still here. Dizzle and Izom trail by 6 racks to 5. And again, they've got the break and got to make the most of it and got to get that wee bit of luck that you need. A 9 ball in the break right now wouldn't go amiss. And that's, I think, about 3 balls at least went into the pocket. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And they're a shot in the 1 ball. Bit straight, but he can create an angle there to come up for the 3, and I think he's overhit it. Yeah. Once again, struggling to get the control of that cue ball. That's the paramount problem with every billiard and pool game, is being able to get the power and control on the cue ball, because that's the biggest strength to your game, is positional play. And that forced Dizzle into a crazy cut, which he, of course, didn't pull off, and now the French opponents at last have a chance to seal the match. They've actually been frozen out for the last couple of racks. I think they've not really had a shot as such. But let's see if they can make the most of this chance. Well, that was a bad mistake, so they're feeling the pressure now. And Dizzle and Izom don't want to get too excited themselves. They want to take their time and get this rack on the board. This is make or break. Oh dear. And this is what happens when you try and just force balls in. You see what happens, it goes slightly offline. And these pockets are, they're a lot tougher than Virtual Pool 3. But they're still at the table, and Izom just needs to drop the 8 ball in and let the cue ball run down the rail here. A wee bit of spin on it. We just tuck it down nicely. He's okay. He had enough angle there to just run the natural angle, so Dizzle can tie the match up with this 9 ball. And he gets it, so who would have ever thought we'd have got to this stage in the match? We're at 6 racks all, hill, and Izom breaking in the final rack decider. And they've come up short. No cigar, no ball in the break, and a nice open table. You see, just playing a deep draw shot like that is telling me they're relying on a lot of luck there to get onto that 2. There was a path to the 2, it was awkward because there's balls in the way. But anyway, they're still at the table. That was a good cut down there on the 2. And you can just draw across for this 4 into the same pocket as a 3. And again, thought about that far too long in my opinion. Although I say use your shot clock, you know, you get lined up sometimes and you do spend that bit too much time. You know, you've got all those doubts going into your head. What happens if I miss, and what happens if I do this? These guys have been sitting here waiting for about 20 minutes to win this match, and suddenly it's gone to 6 all, so they're really now feeling the pressure. And Dizzle and Izom are in charge, so to speak, at the moment, and with the chance to seal the match. And This is a tough one, getting from the 5 to get a comfortable shot in the 6. Cue ball's going to have to miss that 8 ball. Oh dear, and once again izom's left with the pressure shot. Now that's very near that middle diamond and it's off the rail, and it's a good chance of kicking this in or banking it into that top left corner, but he's decided on the safety. But look at the way that 6 is set up with the 9. Is he going to try and do some sort of weird combo here, or go for the bank? Well, that's finished really awkward, and Dizzle is not only going to try and pull off this 6 ball, but he's going to have to run it through. He can only put top in the cue ball, he's got no other choice, but he should finish on the 7 if he gets this 6, so he really needs to focus on this one. This is tough. Looking down in the shot, he could easily put a bit of spin on that cue ball that he doesn't want, and that's why he's missed it. But is it going into the middle? No. And the pace is too strong, it's coming out. And that really was a tough shot. I would not grudge anybody having to take that shot. That's a real pressure shot, and it was always missable. And could Dizzle and izom's comeback be halted right here now? Kwak at the table needs to get across for this 8 ball. Unless he just tucks it softly, he could take it into this left corner. Well, he's overcut it. And Kwak seems to be the one that's feeling the pressure in the French team. And surely this time Dizzle and izom are going to put this match away. They've had enough chances now. Again, that's just finished the wrong side of the 8. If we look at the 8, Dizzle knows that the potting angle there is going to bring the cue ball around the corner. He might feel he wants to put a bit of spin on it, but he really shouldn't. He should leave izom the tougher shot, which is why he's played it with power just to force it around the angle, and that's well played. Well, izom has the opportunity now just to roll the 9 in and seal the match and make it a very good comeback by Dizzle and izom. But if they play anything like they played in the early stages of that match with those silly misses, then they certainly won't be contesting the final in this week's Monday Night 9 ball. But anyway, Dizzle and izom win the match by 7 racks to 6.